There are so many good ways to bring math into a virtual setting. So I began by creating this little object myself, and I'm going to go into the edit mode, and I've moved it over here, and believe me, it's harder than you think to position things in 3 dimensions. So what I'm going to now do is show you other things you can do with math. When this is open, I still have my building features, and this time I'm going to show you something about island physics, and I'm going to pick a sphere to begin with. So that turns into a sphere, and I'm going to put it a little bit towards the top of this platform. And when I'm in the edit mode, I'm holding Control and Shift, making this a little bit bigger, pulling it up, and just for ease of seeing this, I'm going to go over under colors, and I'll give it a bright green. Okay, so it makes it a little easier to see. Actually, I'm going to play with one more thing. I'm going to make it full bright so it shows up better here. Now, when this is in the edit mode, I can click over to Object and see the coordinates, as you saw in another demo that I did. But another piece we're going to look at here is the concept of physical. Now, let me first of all demonstrate by default things are not physical. So I put my circle up there, it stayed up there. So now I'm going to click back on my circle, right click back on my circle, and I'm going to now make this physical. So when I now stop editing, notice what happens. It actually has, quote, physical characteristics. It's going to go running off after the other ball that I just sent and tested. Fortunately, I put a fence around because you'll see that these really do keep on rolling. And so that's one way you can test this. I'm going to push this example a little further, and now I'm going to create something. And I'll go back to my basic, let me pick this shape here, and I'm going to put it over here. And you know from previous ones, if I click on the texture, I can give it a color, and so I'll make this one a purpley color. And when I release this, it's going to just stay up there. It's got no physics. But if I put some physics on it by clicking on it, moving back to the Objects page, put some physical on it. So we're giving it virtual gravity now, which it didn't have before. When I click away, this is going to roll. And actually, I had it over to the side, so it actually fell off, which is one of the things that is important with 3D. It becomes very easy to think things are really in one place when they're not. So I'm going to click away this time, and hopefully this time I'm going to be still on my little wedge. Yeah. And you'll see that this one gets stuck, doesn't roll anywhere near as well. And let me click away from this. Okay. What you now have is, with physics, you can push it. You can push things. So this has physics, so I can actually, quote, move it. Now this doesn't have physics. This wedge doesn't have physics, so I can't move that. So you'll find that there are many ways that you can play with the different interactions between physics and non-physics environments using different shapes, different objects, and you can test these within 3D environments, which is the world we live in, but it's also the world that many of our students are going to be designing in and working in as 3D environments become much more pervasive.